Hey, what's up everyone? Renee here. It's rainy, it's cold, I'm in the car. It was a little bit too noisy in the theater to do this kind of quick reaction and review of Napoleon, the brand new Ridley Scott movie starring Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby, who is beautiful and fantastic. Look, I am not a history buff. I don't know that much about the full history of Napoleon himself. I remember some things and some, details and situations about the wars he's been in, and, kind of where he ended up, the whole Waterloo situation and all that stuff like that. That's the extent of my knowledge. So I cannot judge the merits of the accuracy when it comes to history in this movie. And I think for you as a viewer and for the audience planning to watch this, you should approach this movie as such. This is not a movie that is a pure on biopic. I wouldn't expect historical accuracies all throughout this film. Ridley Scott even mentioned kind of in some interviews leading up to the release of this movie that you shouldn't, nitpick at every little thing here. Because when I reacted to the trailer, it did seem like there were a lot of, history buffs, people who are very much into the lore of Napoleon and the background and everything like that. They were very quick to jump on some of the details and inaccuracies that they may see, or they are afraid may occur in a movie like this. So if you're looking for kind of in-depth biopic for Napoleon himself and how France turned out during this time frame, then I wouldn't bother watching this movie. That being said, judging the movie for what it was a very decent Ridley Scott film. I thought it was shot beautifully. I really felt like I was in the time period. It goes right into it. Like once the movie starts, it's pretty much the fall of Marie Antoinette. So you pick things up from the ending of the French Revolution, and pretty much, Napoleon being an up and coming soldier that he is, and then everything that proceeds after that. And the movie pretty much ends. And again, there's no spoilers here because this is all historic stuff. Whenever history is involved, I wouldn't worry so much about spoilers because you could just read a book or whatever the case is. This has been all out there and all. But the movie pretty much ends with him in isolation. St. Helen, the island of St. Helen, with him dying and all that. And it seems like the way Ridley Scott wanted to portray Napoleon here was a man who is in love with many things, so I take this as kind of a love story. It's a love story about a man in love with a woman that he is holds very close to his heart, and someone that he really cherishes and all that. It's a man's love for his country. He is a huge lover of his country, France. And again, historical accuracies aside, I know he's not really from France and all that stuff like that, but was his home, and he was very much in love with it. And he was also in love with the army, the French army, and all the armies that he was able to commandeer and kind of like lead through all the battles and all that. They did Ridley Scott, I thought, did a really good job at showcasing kind of the strategic genius that Napoleon was said to be. And it showed in a lot of the battle scenes and all that, which I thought was the strength of this movie, was seeing the wars and the battles that Napoleon was involved in, and how it kind of portrayed and showcasing the little bits of strategy that Napoleon had in how he was able to come above everything during those battles that he was involved in. At the end of the movie, they even highlighted all the wars that he was involved in and the wars that he won, but also on top of all that, all the deaths and lives that were lost during those wars and everything. So love story about those three main subjects there. And outside of the battle stuff, I thought the love that was portrayed between Napoleon and Josephine was kind of, kiddish in a way. It felt like two young kids in love, doing silly things together. And Napoleon was definitely portrayed to be kind of like a brat, kind of like a spoiled brat, who was somewhat of a mama's boy and all that. They definitely played in a lot on the inability of Josephine to have a baby and to be pregnant, which kind of led to their eventual divorce and her kind of being ousted in a way. But Napoleon still being around and always visiting her, because he's still madly in love with her, regardless of the fact whether or not she could bear his child and all that. So I mean, it was a decent movie. I think Joaquin Phoenix did a really good job. However, the one creative choice that I still question to this day, I questioned it when I saw the trailer, I'm questioning it even now that I've seen the movie, is how is it that everyone around him in this movie, how is it that everyone has an accent? Everyone sounds like they're from parts of Europe, and yet he is speaking very American. He has no accent whatsoever and all that. So I thought that was kind of unusual creative choice by Ridley Scott there. I get it, with Joaquin Phoenix being like the powerhouse actor that he is, why bother putting this French accent on him when it may come across as kooky and not, something to be taken seriously and all that. But still, it was kind of weird to be in a period piece in Europe, in France, with everyone else sounding European, and you have Joaquin Phoenix sounding like Joaquin Phoenix. But I think overall the movie was enjoyable. I think the chemistry between Joaquin and Vanessa Kirby, like I said, was very childlike. There were parts of it that you believed, and there were other parts of it that you're like, okay, I don't know about all that. But I think for the most part, they did a really good job with that type of chemistry that they had. I thought she was great with what she was given. I'm a huge fan of Vanessa Kirby. I'm always looking forward to things that she's doing. And I thought she did a good job. And so I think overall everyone did a good job. Is this one of Ridley Scott's great movies? No. Is this Joaquin Phoenix great movie, like one of his great movies? Probably not. In a year that we got Beau is Afraid, I would definitely say Beau is Afraid is his movie of the year, of this year, for Joaquin. But at the same time, like, he did a really good job. It's what you expect Joaquin to do, right? So if I were to rate this movie, I would definitely give it 3 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. And I would heart it because I will say I did enjoy it for what it was, and I thought overall it was a good movie, decent movie. And I really appreciate seeing Ridley Scott doing movies like this, kind of historic period movies. I think he does a really good job with certain aspects of it. But if you're looking for like that emotional connection or love, like really in-depth love chemistry between two people, like I said, there are parts of it that you would believe, and there are other parts where you'd be like, all right, I don't know how much of this I can buy into and all that. But at the end of the day, 3 out of 5. I'm sure with the holiday week and weekend coming up here, this will be a good movie for the older generation to go out and check out. And I think they will be entertained for the most part. But again, for you history buffs and history lovers out there, I have a strong feeling that there will be moments of this movie that you will question, and maybe you'll be kind of up in arms for, as far as some of the historic inaccuracies and all that. But like I always say, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter at all what I think. What matters most is what all of you think. Please let me know in the comments below. Is Napoleon a movie you're planning to watch this week? If you had a chance to see it already, what were your thoughts on the movie as a whole? And if you are one of those many history buffs that also like reacted to my trailer reaction and all that, if you did end up seeing this movie, what did they get right? What did they get wrong? I personally would actually love to hear that from all of you out there. So that's it. I'm gonna go and do some last minute grocery shopping for Thanksgiving. Thank you again, as always, for checking this video out and tuning in. You want to show your appreciation and all that, I would greatly appreciate it if you just hit that like button. It helps with the algorithm, spreads the word. You know, it will spread this video to like-minded folks like you and I who are interested in this type of content. And as always, if you want to stay in touch and up to date with everything that we do here on the channel, all you got to do is subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to get notified for anytime a new video is posted on the channel. All right, y'all. Thank you so much again. Until next time, stay cool, stay classy, stay safe. Peace out. Catch you in the next one. All right, bye, everyone.